Namaskar, this is Dr. Sweta Adatia and welcome to another episode of Limitless Brain Lab. Today, we are going to see the morning drink of a billionaire. We study peak performers, we want your brain to become limitless, but you will be surprised and shocked that the morning drink of a billionaire's brain habit where you create those ideas, opportunities, the way in which you can bake the world, make the best opportunities for you to make the dreams come true. For that, you will have to actually go to the Indian grandmom's kitchen. And why am I saying that? Because the old Indian spices have been shown in so many studies and evidences. And today, I am going to share some of these evidences for you where you will be able to understand how powerful the kitchen essentials of good old Indian grandmom cooking was. So what is that millionaires, billionaires drink I am going to share? Do not go away until the end because I am going to give you the insights on how every single Indian spice is adding flavor to your brain. Let us start with a very simple spice which you and me every day have, which is called curcumin. Now, curcumin has been shown to be therapeutically quite effective. In fact, two clinical trials have shown that the compound of turmeric, the active compound of turmeric, which is curcumin, has been shown to be almost equivalent to that of an antidepressant called Prozac. In a mild to moderate depression, it has been shown in a peer-reviewed literature that it had equivalent effect. So that is how powerful the turmeric is. Now, the important things in the brain when you are considering the spices is the entry of that spice into the brain. There is a barrier of the brain and the blood, which is called the blood-brain barrier. Certain things will gain the entry, certain things will not gain the entry. Anything which penetrates this would have a deep impact on the brain's functions. So how is turmeric gaining that entry? Is curcumin enough? Do you need to add something to make that powerful elixir which is going inside? So we will discuss a little bit in details. To hang on for another 5 or 7 minutes because I am going to share all the Indian spices secret adding flavor to your brain. So curcumin has been found to be equivalent to Prozac in the study. Black pepper, particularly, which has a compound called piperin, which is extremely effective, increases the bioavailability of the curcumin by 2000%, which means when you combine turmeric with black pepper, you are blasting the curcumin levels in the blood, the liposomal variety, and that is what we have selected. So if you go to www.limitlessbrainshop.com, you will see a liposomal version of curcumin, which is just 30 milligrams, but more than enough if you are not able to get your turmeric into the food, or if there is any restriction for you to have that turmeric. But my suggestion is always go for organic, always go for regularly available items. Just go to the kitchen shelf, get it. Make sure that your dish has all these Indian spices because finally it is anti-inflammatory. In India, largely we do see less gut issues. And generally we see less of dementia. We see less of neuroinflammatory conditions as compared to the West. This is not by accident. This is not by chance. It is because we have these dedicated spices on our shelf, which is protecting the brain. So addition of turmeric, which is curcumin, with a black pepper is magical. It is causing that shot in the brain, which is responsible for giving dopamine, which is responsible for serotonin, which is neuroinflammatory, increasing the BDNF level, which is important for your repair, regeneration. It is increasing the cognitive abilities. In fact, this was studied in a peer-reviewed, evidence-backed research analysis, which I am going to share it with you as well in the literature below. Curcumin has been known to fight the Alzheimer's dementia, has been known to fight neuroinflammation. It is a potent anti-inflammatory substance. However, it is very important that the turmeric be organic, the curcumin be organic. The methodology of preparation has to be made sure that it is the essential ingredients are preserved, because most of the time the turmeric that you eat is genetically modified or if your curcumin powder, whatever you have been taking, has certain mixtures which are synthetic in nature, then that can be in fact toxic for your brain. The BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, is a very, very important factor for increasing the pathways which are important for cognitive decline, which will protect your brain from dysfunction. The bioavailability of simple curcumin is just merely 3%, and that is when black pepper comes into the play and it expands and blows off the bioavailability of curcumin. The traditional cooking, which is dal, tadka, khichdi. Khichdi is my favorite. 360 days out of 365 days, we have khichdi every single day in our home, and it has just the right amount of turmeric, just the black pepper. It is essentially the mixture also of ghee, because now the ghee also acts as an emollient. You don't cook the ghee, but you mix the ghee in the khichdi, which becomes the perfect biochemistry for your brain's health. Third important compound, which is ashwagandha. We have talked about ashwagandha. Ashwagandha has a particular root extract which has withanolide, and if there is 5 to 10% of withanolide in your ashwagandha of 300 milligrams, it is enough to be acting as an adaptogen. It will allow you to act on your stress. It will work to adapt your stress capabilities. It will reduce your cortisol. In fact, one peer-reviewed evidence-backed literature has shown a reduction of 29% of cortisol, which has happened after the consumption of ashwagandha. Now, ashwagandha, when you take it during the naturally low cortisol, which is the evening hours, it is highly potent for stress relaxation. If you take it in the morning hours, it gives the cognitive boost, the focus boost. So it depends when do you need to take the ashwagandha. But coming back to the billionaire's drink, what are those elements? What is cardamom? Do you think that cardamom will be a part of this billionaire's drink? Let us understand the potent value of cardamom and ginger. Both have certain substances called alpha terpenol, and these are very, very important. In fact, ginger also has 6-gingerol, which are very, very important for microglial function. What is a microglia? Microglia is a cell which supports the neurons. If there is a damage and dysfunction of microglia, your neuronal function, which means your brain function, suffers. If your microglia is in a constant state of surveillance and vigilance to protect the neurocells or the neurons, then it goes into a state of release of inflammatory cytokines, and these inflammations actually cause the damage in the brain. So adding also cardamom and ginger protects against these inflammatory cytokines, so they become potent anti-inflammatory molecules for your brain. Brahmi, a very simple element which is present also in Bacopa monnieri, which is the organic name for it, has been shown to be very effective for cognition. If your memory is low and you administer Brahmi, there can be a sudden spike in that cognitive awareness, in the strength of the memory. In fact, this has been shown in a study where exactly for 6 weeks Brahmi was given, and there was a significant shift seen in the memory and attention and focus of the students where Brahmi was given for these individuals. Brahmi is increasing a substance called acetylcholine, responsible for your memory. So if you have some exam coming up, if you are struggling to remember the things, memory forms a very important part of your meeting, etc., Brahmi should be a part of your daily routine. One other ingredient which has been amazing and part of the kitchen shelf is kesar, also called as saffron. Now, saffron has a natural properties of antidepressant. Your tea, you just put a few strands of saffron, which is also called the saffron chai, which is very popular in certain cultures, has been shown to be very potent. It is not just anti-inflammatory, but also antidepressant. In a paper, study was done where the saffronal, the content of saffron was compared with the serotonin SSRI agents, and it was found that 30 milligrams of serotonin can produce an antidepressant effect comparable to therapeutic, which means the right dose of imipramine or fluoxetine, which are also antidepressant agents. A meta-analysis which was published in the Journal of Integrative Medicine in 2019 has shown and randomized control trial that saffron was significantly superior to that of the placebo and not inferior to any of these conditions. Hence, it is very, very important for us to recognize, to understand the importance of these Indian spices. So now I gave you the enough hints that how Brahmi works, Ashwagandha works, Cardamom works, ginger works, curcumin, your piperin, which is your black pepper, and kesar. Do you want to guess by now what would be in that billionaire's brain drink? Do you want to have that recipe? Do you want to actually be lazy and just say, yes, bring it on? And I am going to send you the direct recipe of this particular billionaire's drink. Now, being a billionaire, having the billionaire attitude is all about rewiring your prefrontal cortex. It is about taking the right decision, being open to opportunities, having lack of fear, having lack of courage, making sure that all this is out. You are successful, you have the capacities, your attention and focus is great, your ideas are amazing, you execute like that, and your talent is actually taken to the next level. All this is possible, all this is doable, provided you understand that Indian spices holds the root and secrets to some of the powerful things that often the billionaires also do. So I am not going to release this secret. We will keep it as a secret until you tell us your comment that what you think would be the ingredients of this billionaire brain drink. And more information, go ahead and watch www.limitlessbrainacademy.com or www.drswetaadatia.com, where we will have exclusive material only for you, where neuro changes, the neuro expansion, neuro limitless, all this is explained in great details, and some of this literature will also help you design that drink.